try one of these get ready with me videos, and I always find these videos like kind of dumb and superficial, but I enjoy watching them with people who I really like because it's just like an excuse to do something together while we talk about what we're doing and interested in thinking about at the time. This is just like a really simple little makeup routine that I do pretty much every day. This is my Failure is Not an Option t-shirt. I got this from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. My like beauty routine is pretty much like covering up some of these bags under my eyes. Anyways, this is not a makeup video, however, it does seem like that. If you don't know me, my name's Ashley Evans. I have a Substack newsletter called Wannabe Wisdom, Diaries of a Fake Guru. In it, I basically talk about personal and creative blocks that I'm going through, and I try to work through them. And I mean, I talk about all sorts of things. I talk about philosophy, psychology, mental health, well-being. When I was traveling through Central America, I wrote about the places I was and the things I was seeing and the things I was going through. But right now, a lot of it's about how do I find inspiration to write this Substack newsletter. I'm finding a lot of inspiration in talking about imposter syndrome and all the things that hold us back from expressing ourselves fully. You know, all the fear, self-doubt, fear of judgment, fear of being perceived by people on the internet, fear of identity theft. And I have a couple friends recently, girlfriends, who were like, are you an influencer? I'm like, no, I'm not an influencer. I realized I don't know why those feel like dirty words in my mind. There's nothing dirty about them. But maybe because with influencers and whatnot, we feel like they're trying to sell us something. But you know, the world we live in today, that's how we get a lot of our products, is through artists, through all sorts of people who we follow on the internet, who we like, and they show us things that they buy and we buy those things. It's just a part of the world that we live in nowadays. I'm still figuring out exactly what my goal is, and I want to promote self-expression. That is like my biggest thing. And as a writer, as an actor, I come into all sorts of personal blocks that stop me from having clarity of thought, really knowing what I'm trying to say, and then sharing it. Fear holds us back. And I am obsessed with writers who look at those issues and try to tackle them. And use the powder as a highlighter. But you just gotta make sure it's there, and then you just highlight. I follow a lot of writers who write on the topic of self-expression and creative blocks, like Liz Gilbert, who wrote Big Magic, and she talks all about creativity. I'm currently reading Rick Rubin, the bearded music producer's book. I think it's called On Creativity. I take eyeliner. Makeup is a lot like painting. Little wings. Loving his book right now. It feels like meditating. Listening to it. He just has so much wisdom about the creative process. But I've also loved Stephen Pressfield's book called The War of Art, which talks about how resistance is pretty much an artist's enemy and what we have to work through. You always want to make sure these are equal. Anne Lamott, she writes a book called Bird by Bird. You know, she struggled with alcoholism, and she found sobriety and actually found her voice and writing through being sober. I'm writing an essay that comes out tomorrow. I've already written it, and the one last thing I have to do before it's ready to hit publish tomorrow is I want to record the audio that goes at the top of the article. I just started doing that. And it's really cool because Substack like immediately takes the audio that I publish with the article and they put it into a podcast. I don't even have to do anything. I just literally click one button and then it's there. I don't have to go anywhere. I just do it right here before I go to work in an hour. So the time is ticking and I got to do it now, but I'm procrastinating, and I thought, hey, why not shoot a little video about just how procrastination really is something we have to work against. Just a pink little brush. I'm going to show you this really cool tool I have. You brush it out, brush, brush, brush. This is called the hair wrap, the Dyson hair wrap, and it's an incredible tool. I'm not getting anything from this, but I got this secondhand from a family member who I adore. There's nothing like this tool. Okay, so it wraps around here. They're just long front pieces. Just gonna spray it. Spray it. Did it. I mean, it's a little wild, but then I run your fingers through it. With this natural beachy look. I don't do this every day. I do this like once a week, and of course it'll fall out. My hair has volume, and I don't know if you remember what it looked like from the beginning. There. My essay's coming out tomorrow. My Substack is called Wannabe Wisdom, Diaries of a Fake Guru. And if you haven't subscribed already, my link's in my bio. Make sure to subscribe, because then you'll get the essay right to your inbox. And in this essay, I talk about these grounding exercises that my therapist gave me. They're really key for any kind of creative person to gain contact with the present moment. We spend so much of our lives like brainless ghosts, just like bobbing around from one thing to the next thing. And these exercises help really ground you. So take a look at the essay. Let me know if you could utilize these exercises. They're really helping me a lot to find more inspiration throughout my daily life and finding more downtime in the day between the busyness of errands, events, work, all the things, friends. Have a lovely day.